Hello students, welcome to the online lecture of Vehicle Testing and Homologation. I am Milan Trivedi, Assistant Professor at LJIET Institute of Engineering and Technology. In today's lecture, we are going to continue with our topic of active and passive safety system. Under this particular chapter, we had already covered the active safety system, passive safety system, some of the tests which is related to the active and passive safety system. Now in today's lecture, we are going to elaborately discuss about a new concept and very interesting concept, that is a crash test. This crash test is actually a kind of a destructive test which is used to measure the damaged part. Now this damaged part can be of two things, that damage which is happening to the occupant which is sitting inside a car, as well as the entire car body along with all the different components which is attached with it. We need to check that how much safe the occupant is with the help of this kind of crash test. From this, with the evaluation of car has been done, that how much rating it has been achieving in this particular crash test. Based on that, we categorize how does the safe vehicle is. So let us understand the different crash tests in detail in our today's lecture. Let's begin with the understanding of how many types of different crash tests are there. Basically, when we talk about a crash test, we are normally having these three different types. That is a frontal impact test, side impact test, and the rollover test. Basically, in the case of front impact test, even we are having two again subcategories. The first one is a small overlap, and the second one will be the full overlap front impact test. Let us have a discussion of this small overlap. In this particular small overlap, apart from the driver's side, the next subside of the particular car vehicle is allowed to collide with some destructive objects. Maybe it is a pole or a wall. Some of the part of the front region would be allowed to collapse with the certain wall or the pole. The desired speed of the vehicle is to be kept at the 56 km/h, or it may be a 35 miles per hour speed. That is same thing. So at that particular speed, the vehicle is allowed to collapse at particular small frontal region. But what we actually need to evaluate is that how much destruction is happening to the particular occupant which is sitting inside a car. So for that particular test region, we are keeping dummies inside this particular car. That part we are going to discuss in detail in our later particular section. But right now we just understand that the speed of collapsing is 56 km/h, and only small frontal region has been allowed to collapse. The second part in this particular frontal impact test is a moderate overlap, in which the higher frontal portion is allowed to collapse, but at the same speed, that is a 56 km/h. In this particular view, you are having a clear view of dummies also. We can have observation of that, how this dummy move as per the collapse happens, right? So we are actually evaluating the three different criteria based on that. That also we are going to discuss when we talk a dummy part. But this is how this particular frontal impact test happens. The next test in the frontal impact test category is the particularly full overlap test, right? A vehicle is allowed to collapse at the particular destructive object, and we need to check that how much damage is happening to the occupant. But in some of the frontal impact test, some two cars are also allowed to collide, two prototype versions. In both the cars, the dummies would be sitting. So a real kind of scenario would be kept, and we need to evaluate how does two different cars are safe and how much damage is happening to the particular occupant. Now let us discuss about the side impact test. In this particular side impact test, as the name suggests, we are actually collapsing a vehicle with one side body. Side body will be traveling across the vehicle at the same speed, that is a 56 km/h, or that is 35 miles per hour speed. At that particular speed, the destructive body would be colliding to the particular car, and we need to evaluate that how much destruction which is happening to the particular dummy which has been kept inside a car. The third one is a rollover test. The rollover, as the name suggests, the vehicle is allowed to roll over. So how we actually need to carry out the rollover test? There would be one vehicle like this which will throw the vehicle, the on which the testing is required to be done, and it is purposefully allowed to roll over. And we need to actually observe that what is actually happening to the particular dummies. In this particular scenario, some of the things are being exaggerated, the dummies are traveling across any of the degrees. But yes, we actually need to have idea that how much safe the dummies are when the particular rollover happens to the vehicle, right? This is a scenario maybe with or without a seat belt, but whenever the test happens, they are actually evaluated when the seat belts are tightened. So obviously the dummies would not be spreaded to any of the direction, but yes, the damage, the movement of the dummy, that all part can be evaluated very easily. Now this is the main part which I was actually talking about. This I am going to take in detail right now, that the dummies which we are using, right? So dummies, we need to have a standard specification. Whenever we talk about a crash test dummies, they appear like that, but apart from that, we need to have certain sensors inside the dummies. We need to have these three particular sensors in the dummy, that is the accelerometer sensor, load sensor and the motion sensor. This accelerometer sensor will give you the value of the particular speed at which the dummy actually moves, that is a increase in the speed once the accident happens. The load sensor, from that you can get the idea about how much the injury can happen to the particular dummy, because that will give you the idea about how much impact is being happening on the particular dummy, and the motion, that on which particular direction the dummy is actually traveling when the accident happens. Now we need to understand that at what particular locations this particular sensors are being located. Normally in the head assembly part we are having the accelerometer sensors. In the neck assembly part we are fitting the load sensors as well as accelerometers. In the shoulder assembly we are keeping the biaxial load sensors, because at that particular shoulder part there can be a two-direction movement from the two different directions, so load can be acting. So a biaxial load sensors are being kept. At the chest portion we are keeping the motion sensor as well as the accelerometers. At the spine part we are keeping the accelerometer. At the knee assembly part we are keeping the load sensors, and the lower leg assembly we are keeping again the load sensors. So at the different locations we are keeping these three different sensors in the particular dummy. Now one more thing, that we are also keeping the colors in the dummy part. The reason to keep the different colors in the particular dummy is just to find out that at what particular location, whenever the test happens, say for example the black color is kept inside the dummy, so it will keep certain mark on the particular part at which it is colliding. Say for example the black color is in chest part, so we can get a surface area, that this surface area of chest is colliding with the particular steering column, because that black color will leave certain impression on that particular steering wheel. So from that we can get the value that, or the indication that this much surface area of that particular dummy is colliding with this particular object. Say for example the yellow color is placed on this particular forearm region, or maybe in this particular bicep region. So at what particular region that particular forearm is been touching, that can be also evaluated by keeping the different colors. Now again a brief idea about that different sensors, that what does it actually functions. This accelerometer will gives the data about the acceleration, that at what rate of speed the particular dummy is moving. Load sensor will give you idea about the force which is acting on the particular dummy by the different objects whenever the particular accident happens, and the motion sensor will gives idea about the path at what the dummies are moving on. Now talking about ratings in the particular crash test, we are actually giving ratings based on the different criteria, that how much injury is actually happening to the particular dummy, then what is the head protection, and how does the particular structure is safe or not. But yes, we are keeping a standard particular dimensions of dummy, that is a 5 feet 10 inch dummy, 77 kg mass of dummy, right? Now the last in our today's lecture, that is a side door intrusion test, because the test is very much similar under this crash test category, but the purpose is to find out how much safe the doors are in our car. So in this particular side door intrusion test, there is one particular rod-like structure. Instead of a surface-like structure, we are having this a pole-like structure, a spherical ball-like structure, which is having a normal diameter of 254 mm. This particular pole is allowed to collide with the particular car, which is actually taken across the pole at a speed of 29 km/h. Just to check that whenever there is an accident of a car with certain poles, so how much the particular doors are safe, that part can be evaluated with the help of this kind of side door intrusion test. So this is very much similar to the crash test even, but instead of a solid rigid surface, we are having a particular spherical ball which is allowed to collide with the particular car. This spherical ball can be taken towards particular car, or a vehicle can also travel to that particular object, but at a speed of 29 km/h. So that's all about today's particular lecture. Thanks for watching.